All right, well, thanks for coming to our little mini session on active classroom ideas. I'm Jessica Shawley. I'm at a middle school, and we incorporate active classroom into our facility as much as possible. And so on my website here, I have developed a brain boost resource, so a bunch of different platforms and links that you could link to your teachers for them to utilize for ideas. And one reason why I did that is I wanted to have a resource for my teachers. So we know the research, we know that it's important for the bodies to be moving, to prepare the brain for learning, and for our kids to be able to pay attention better. And so how do we take that back into our schools? How can we plant those seeds? How can we build that community? One way has been through Field to Play 60 for me, because that grant money has provided a ton from this catalog, to be quite honest, for their activity breaks play through that grant program. And so I've developed the resource website, linked it to our PE site and our district website. I also try every year, at least at the beginning of the year, to offer just an open-ended, informal activity breaks brain boost sharing session, especially for new staff members that are coming in. And I usually have resources, especially from our dairy council, with the brain breaks ball, and then showing them the resource on how to teach them and give them ideas on how to just do activity breaks, the brain boosts, classroom movement ideas. I was lucky enough to go to some action-based learning training to learn more about how to do that, and integrating in some of this equipment and this movement. And it's just been a fun thing to continue to chip away at and learn about. You don't have to be the expert, the know-it-all at the beginning. Just learn one or two things, share them at a staff meeting, share them with a couple of people, and keep building in and layering from there. The desk cycle here, we can try it out. You can try it out if you wish while it's there. One thing I wanted to share about that is you don't have to have a classroom set of everything. So what we did in our health classroom is we got the desk cycle and the desk elliptical, just two of them. And I did a little blog about this. And what was neat is our health teacher, the kids can take them and use them when they need to. So they can pick them up, they can move them to their desk, use them, and then the next class period as kids come in, then they might be the first ones there and they're like, I want this one today. Or they've also tried it in the back of the classroom. They opened it up a bit more, and if they want to go back there and sit and read or do some activities discussing, then they get to use the desk cycle and elliptical. I'm lucky enough to be in the same room for homeroom, so when my sixth graders come in, they're always like, whoo, whoo, And so using those, especially for those kids who like to fidget, I was lucky enough to use them during parent-teacher conferences, sitting there waiting for the parents to come in, and then the parents were like, ooh, what's that? So another activity and idea that I wanted to talk about is the fit and spin. And so I use this one in the health classroom, and in PE when we were inside for construction, we would use this for activity breaks. I'd hang it on the whiteboard with a command strip, and they'd spin for their activity break in the exercise. Or we were playing nutrition match memory card game, and the kids would come to the middle in their teams, pick up two cards. If they made a match, great, they go back, they get to spin the wheel, spin to win, just something different. Or there's the blank templates you can write on. Another one is, just all these goodies. It's about having something different and novel, right? And these new ideas and different ideas. And one thing I've really loved is getting ideas from the Brain Breaks Energizer books. And it has these quick go-to things, flipping to them, here's what we're gonna do. And then they have another one is the Classroom Active Healthy card. So I wanted to show you some of the resources that I've used, I've shared with my teachers, and I found successful. And then the other one, I wanted to tell you about my science teacher. She does an amazing job of working with those kids and understanding their sensory needs and their fidget. And she was so excited to share with me at the beginning of the year. And this is where I get excited that it works. It is important to build those relationships with those in your building, and providing that Field to Play 60 money and making those relationships happen and encouraging movement has been wonderful. She was so excited. She was like, Jess, come here. She's like, I got a new wobble board. Oh, and then this parent saw them, and then they sponsored a few other ones. So at her science lab tables, she has a few of the wobble boards for the kids to use, for them to kind of balance on while they're at their seats, at those taller lab tables. And I thought that was a great idea, for those kids. So I was pretty excited. I was so proud of her. I was like, you're just so awesome. And then What are some of the other ones? Oh, another one I want to share a little success story is just being open and inclusive too to others coming into your space at certain times. So our English teacher, he would bring down his students because he had this double block period with some of the higher needs students who needed that extra English time. And in between, they would come down and walk in between classes in the gym. So they would get in a good 5 to 10 minutes of walking while our kids are changing, the gym's not being used, and when the kids are coming out of the locker room, our kids are walking and talking as well. And so the teacher's in there, he's walking with those kids, he's having a nice time with them, he's visiting with, we get to see him, and then he was like, that makes all the difference, just being able to go for a little walk. And then other classroom teachers heard about it, so they would come down, or it's so nice to be outside during those beautiful days for PE, and then to see other teachers coming on out for a quick walk, or they'll join us on the track for a quick walk when we're out there too, and they're like, hey, time for a break, time to enjoy the sunshine with our kids. Absolutely. So just plant those seeds of movement, bring ideas back to your staff, and I encourage you to look at the catalog. There are some great ideas in there and those little things, and I'm glad they had all the seats here because I've always wanted to try some of these different ones. Yeah, sorry, I should have passed them around. I have these right here. Yeah, absolutely. Any questions? Or what questions do you have? That's what I should say.
In our school, teachers usually say, I want to do brain breaks. I think they're a great idea. I'm worried about the classroom management side. How do I get the kids back after I've started?
I think that's really important, is that management piece. And like they have to decide, and they have to teach that, and they have to cue that, you know? And so like whatever cues those are for me in the health class, I'm all right, thanks everybody, okay, take a seat. But we practice that over and over and over, and then they appreciate that. And then with these in here, sometimes even giving the kids some leadership and having them, hey, you're gonna teach this in a few days, check this out, if you wanted to integrate that in, and then giving some more choice in that. I think that's always the scariest part at first, but then once you get one or two people on board and they're trying different things, or even the simple things, just standing and stretching and just some yoga, you know, and some yoga poses, or the balancing and this here. I like to do a lot of like handshake stuff, like stand up real quick, please, and we'll go here, then here, then here, then here, and then we do this over again. Hips, here, here, thighs, hips. And then we're interacting, we're laughing a bit, but then we add two more on this side, going this way and around. And so we're trying to be here when they're starting, and we keep going, and it's pretty cool. Just a quick little break. Okay, nice job, you met some people again, reconnected, and then sit back down. Yeah. Well, it was pretty fun to do, and then I had my middle school students, then we went all the way around. We went in a big circle out this way, but there's just that quick and get to know you and reconnecting and that. So thank you all for coming today.